Go Town recently launched into its full release, and here are 20 tips to help you in your playthrough. Every time you start a new save file, you'll be able to customize your character, but don't overthink this too much. Right from the start of the game, you'll be able to build an item called the Change-a-tron, which lets you change your character's appearance at any time. Just go to build mode, then under Town Center and Services, you will find it. From there, you can change your appearance as well as equip any clothing items you've unlocked as you play. If you go to your phone tab and click on widgets, you can actually rearrange how your HUD looks. You can move your wallet, add the time, or add a minimap. The minimap is especially helpful, so it's nice to have it visible. At the beginning, you won't have any storage available yet, but there are trucks scattered around the map that you can use as storage right from the start. One is located between the mining and forestry zones, and another is between the farming and fishing zones. You can use these trucks to navigate the world and store items at the same time. There's also a track bike near the station. It doesn't have storage, but it lets you move faster. There's also a skateboard near the farming area that works the same way, faster movement but no storage. You can store small vehicles using hotkeys for quick access. Press 2 to store your current vehicle, and press 2 again to summon it back anytime. This doesn't apply to big vehicles like the truck though. Also note, you can only store one vehicle at a time. If you store a new one, whatever was already stored gets kicked out. The same trick works for tools. If you are using a chainsaw, for example, pressing 1 stores it in your inventory. If you want to store a different tool, the first one gets dropped to the ground. But you can always recall stored tools by going to their dock. Eventually, you'll be able to construct vehicle or car parks anywhere on your map. This can be found under Town Center and Transportation on your build mode. To use one, approach it with a vehicle and assign the vehicle to that spot. You can assign one vehicle to multiple parking areas and summon it by pressing F when near any of them. This also keeps your vehicles from cluttering your map since scattered vehicles, especially trucks, can get in the way of your workers and townsfolk. There are 2 currencies in the game, gold and ego. Gold comes from tourists interacting with your shops and market stalls. Ego comes from tourists enjoying their stay at your town. My tip is to always spend both since there's a cap on how much you can hold. The cap increases as your town levels up, but it's still limited. Gold is used to construct buildings and decorations, while ego is used to upgrade your ego tech and unlock new features. Ego can also be used to rebuy items since once you used up your initial batch of something, like farm stalls for example, you will need ego to buy more. In build mode, you're not just limited to moving structures, you can move trees and shrubs too. This lets you group things in your zone areas like putting goji berries together or clearing out space to organize your storage neatly. To make building faster, you can press Tab to clone certain buildings or processing machines instead of having to find them again from your build menu. You can always delete something you've built and it'll give you back some gold, but not the materials used to make it. If you want to rebuild it later, you will need to gather those materials again. Buildings can be placed sideways or backways, not just facing one direction. Also, you can rotate your camera view by pressing your middle mouse button. I didn't realize this for a while and assumed I was stuck with a fixed view, so don't make the same mistake. Tourists will leave trash all over town if there's nowhere to throw it away. Make sure to place trash cans or dumpsters, especially near food stalls. This can be found under Waste and Cleaning under Town Center in your Build tab. Near the station, tourists with an icon with a plus sign like this can move into your town right away, meaning they have no requirements or you've already met them. A question mark in the icon means you need to do something first, like build a specific building, find an item, or pay gold. If you cannot meet their requirements yet, don't worry. The tourist pool refreshes every time a new train arrives, so there's no rush. Focusing on your town rank will enable you to unlock new game features and automation, so it's a good idea to spend your time achieving the goals needed to increase your town rank, especially up to level 3. Here's why. At level 2, you will unlock the Maintenance Office, letting you hire maintenance workers to automatically clean up trash from bins and dumpsters instead of doing it manually yourself. Then, at level 3, you unlock the courier building, which lets you hire couriers to automatically deliver ingredients to shops and materials to construction sites. These two tasks will take up a lot of your time if you don't automate it right away. So, I highly recommend focusing on town rank quests until you reach level 3, then you can start to slow down and take your time. As a general rule, it's always good to prioritize upgrades that automate your processes. For example, at tier 5, you can unlock new shops, but you can also increase worker slots for services or farming zones, which helps automate things instead of relying on manual work. For couriers to deliver items, you need your processing zones to actually produce what your shops and buildings need, and you need to have them in a storage box for the courier to pick up. Your zone workers will only collect items your shops currently need, and they will store collected items in storage bins within their respective zones. However, you can press I to enter this UI and hover over any item and press L to lock it. Once you do this, no other items will be accepted in that box except for the item or items you've locked to it. The number of items you can lock on a storage will depend on how big your storage is. When you do this, your workers will start gathering that item even if no shop needs it yet. This is great for stockpiling ahead of time since you will likely need something eventually anyway. Just remember, storage has to be placed within a zone, and the item locked to it should be produced in that zone for this to work. You can use the terraforming tool in build mode to convert shallow water into dirt, letting you reach previously inaccessible areas, some of which may contain hidden loot or areas. Always keep an eye out for these hidden spots. And don't worry if you ever get stuck or lost somewhere. Press escape and use the unstuck option to teleport back to your train station. The information app from your phone has several useful tabs for managing your town. The most useful tab for me here is the one for shops that shows you exactly what's going on with each shop in your town. For example, let's look at my Eat and Go shop. This shop has one recipe, deep fried Go donuts, and the information tab shows me I currently have 56 donuts stored right there in the shop. Plus, I have 90 more available in my other storage bins. It also tells me whether my town is currently producing Go nuts at all. This is incredibly helpful for troubleshooting. Say my noodle bar runs out of lobsters. If the tab shows 0 lobsters stored but it says that my town is currently producing it, it means that I just need to get those lobsters transported to the noodle bar, either by manually doing it myself or by waiting for my courier to handle it. But if the tab shows the fishing zone is not producing lobsters at all, I know I need to go check that zone directly. That means making sure I have the workers, tools, or machines needed to produce the lobster and that I have a storage box for it. Another useful tab here is the one for items. You can filter this by unmet demand, so if you're not sure what to focus on, just use that filter to instantly see what your town actually needs right now. This tab is also great if you don't know where to source something. For example, I had no idea where to get fluff early on. I clicked on the item in this tab and it showed me the exact source. In my case, it showed me that fluff can be gathered from fluff shrubs in the forestry zone. So anytime you're stuck on where an ingredient comes from, this is the place to check. Another good app from your phone is the tourist tracker, which shows you what your tourists are currently thinking about your town, which affects how much ego you earn from them. If you press F on this tab, it'll show you exactly where the problems are and why tourists are unhappy. For example, I found out some tourists were complaining about a lack of garbage cans nearby, so I know that I have to add more. I also saw that 5 tourists were unhappy because they'd waited too long in line at my noodle bar, which told me I probably need to build an additional noodle bar to reduce wait times. Any items you leave lying on the ground will disappear after a few hours, so make sure everything you're not actively using are inside some form of storage. Later in the game, once you've unlocked more functions for the maintenance office, you will get access to a lost and found section where dropped items get automatically collected instead of destroyed. But that's a feature you'll unlock much later, so early on, be extra careful about leaving things on the ground. If you ever find yourself without enough of a certain item and tourists are already complaining because a shop can't sell what they want, you can use the import application on your phone. This lets you directly order and buy items you don't currently have, and they will simply be delivered to you out of thin air. While exploring, always catch the bugs glowing on the ground and collect the buried artifacts. There are also glowing fishing spots scattered around the map where you can catch trophy fish. The treasures you collect this way will not take up any space in your inventory, so pay attention to this and just hoard them because you can actually use this in your town hall. It took me a while to notice that I can actually enter my town hall, but here, you can put your collected artifacts, bugs, and fish on display. It's a nice way to show off everything you've found while exploring. If you have extras you don't need, you can sell them to this NPC inside for gold. There's also a treasure shop where you can buy display items like a large gem display or fish display case that you can place outside in your town as decoration. If you are feeling overwhelmed by the number of tourists or you just want to focus on renovations without new visitors interrupting, you can close your train station entirely to stop new tourists from arriving. Alternatively, you don't have to fully close it. You can adjust the incoming tourist rate to 33% or 67%, giving you more control over how busy your town feels at any given time. My last tip is to fully explore the game and enjoy the little quirks it offers. If you press T, you'll get access to several emotes. This feature is mainly built for multiplayer since GoGo Town supports playing with others. But there are two options here that works well even in single player. The first is the high five. Walk up to a tourist and use this emote and they'll come over and high five you back. The second is rock paper scissors, which you can actually play against tourists for fun. What's even better is you can use these same emotes on your animals. High-fiving a cow or other farm animal is unexpectedly one of the cutest interactions in the game. Another fun discovery is that you can actually hop on top of your courier vans and ride around on them as they make their deliveries. There are a few different ways to ride it too. These features don't really affect your gameplay, but these are fun little details that makes me curious what other fun mechanics this game has. If you found more features or tips not included in this video, do let us know in the comment section, and if you are looking for more cozy management games like this, check out this next video.